we are back with game number 5 here. Coming into game number 5, we have LG in first, T-Lie, and then Bleed in third. This game is going to be really important for separating 4th, 5th, and 6th. They're all within 1 point of another. It's going to be hard to catch LG, but any of these teams can realistically take second place. We have 2 games left on World's Edge, so things can get shaken up quite a bit here. Really importantly, we have an overlook pull. C9 is going to be pretty happy. They're not going to have to go far for rotations this game. And once this second zone pulls, you're going to have a lot of teams dying trying to get out of this hilled area. Lots of teams going to be coexisting in these buildings as late as possible. Just kind of handshaking, not pushing each other too much, no pressure, and trying to establish. Complexity here over at Siphon, 23 points, so not too crazy to imagine them getting within top 5 here. They would need a decent game, but they're only about 10 points behind, so if they have a game like LG had last game, they're still really within range of finishing top 5 and getting those really important playoff points. Keep in mind, we're getting late in the split now. We are over halfway. I believe only 3 game days left after this. So all of these points play a huge role in those overall leaderboards. Luke going to be running double burst this game with Prowler Nemesis. His guns are going to burn through health bars really quick. If he lands those shots, it's going to be over very soon. And Flat forced to reset here in this 1-by building. Looks like they will get it off, but very early under a lot of pressure. Gonna burn through a lot of their meds very quickly. As you can see, only 1 med kit, 1 syringe on some of those members of Flat. And now LG getting to zone really early. This is really nice for them. LG gonna try and find somewhere to bunker up now and make it to late game. Good amount of meds too as well on Funk, so they will be hard to pressure. C9 now in a fight early on the lower part of this tunnel. Gonna take shots through the cat wall, but it's only gonna be chaotic, and I don't think he's long for this world. Temper gets a partial reset, and it's going to be the 2v1 for the win. And C9 with a zone they really needed to go their way goes down to Temper. And Temper now in a really good spot to take a top 5 position as well. Currently in 7th, but they are in a decent spot in zone. They might want to consider running through the tunnel a little more so they're not holding 2 directions as hard. But they do have the position over Disguised right now. Disguised is going to start looking for those nades. Design is getting swung on and doesn't look like he recognized he was getting swung. He was looking the opposite direction, and Disguised getting wiped unless there's a 1v1. Good nades. He's going to res on the stairs. Should hold his knockdown for him. And he will get the res. No re-knock coming through yet. And he got the swap. So now it is a 2v1. Zen is going to have a really tough time trying to win this. He's going to get held by 1 while they revive. And now they're going to run at him. And it should be over. Temper wiping C9, then wiping Disguise. And wow, they should be looking at a top 5 finish, or top 5 placement after this game. Really good play from Temper. Really well fought along the staircase, and really good job holding each other's angles. Really shocked. Designful looked like he was a little bit lost when he got swung there, to be honest. They cannot be happy about that one. I know I would not be. And we'll see. We now have 3rd zone information, and it's pulling back still kind of towards the high ground. You're going to have all these buildings occupied. Stallions and LG still not in a bad spot, but LG does look a little split, so they should be a little careful here. They don't want Stallions doing anything crazy, but they're probably on the low ground. So it's probably unlikely they're going to zip up or try anything crazy. They're probably just going to try and sit there for late game as well. Now we have Snipe Down and Native. Also in a pretty good spot, especially with the Watson. They can't get naded out. Gives them more tempo, but they are destroying that gen. Very interesting. And placing it with their own. So that was a team before them's gen, but they don't have any kills. So it doesn't look like they wiped the team to take that gen. Looks like a team just naturally rotated through. And let's take a look. Looks like main broadcast is looking at Moist. Doesn't look like they're doing too much crazy right now, but Furia is flying in. Furia having a pretty tough day. But not a bad spot in zone. This Caravan's not terrible. It is a lot nicer with a Watson, because then you have the gen to not get naded out. It is a little more difficult to hold, especially if you're getting multi-direction spammed through those windows. But it is also the best option they have available to them now. So they're just going to try and play small. Not going to try and start any fights or anything like that. Just going to try and relax. And it did not take long for LG to see them and shoot them from the high ground, as expected if you're playing out of that truck. But if he plays it a little tighter, they shouldn't have that line of sight for longer.
I'd say that Bangalore provides. Madness instead is going to be playing a bit safer. And with the red shields, I see no reason why not. Bloodhound certainly a great follow-up. But as you say, defense is really the priority for a comp like this, and not something that they're particularly well set up to do.
LG finding one early kill point here, but nothing too crazy.
So a few teams that I want to keep an eye on.
But every point counts, especially in the last two games. Will help them extend that reach. Fluff looks like they're trying to hold, but TSM is going to fly right over him, and there's nothing to do. No team has really clear shots. It's pretty synced, except they are landing directly under a team. So Reps is going to have to look here, but he's getting shot in the back, and this went bad quickly for TSM. Reps going to try and knuckle flex this team away from him, but they know he's on the rock, and they know it's a 3v2, so it's going to be really hard for him to get out of this spot. Good spam still. TSM does get the res. And now Fluff looks like they're pushing something on the other side. Ooh, nice. That's why they call them Fluffy Aimers. Chase Mob is going to one-clip that guy through the smoke. Not doing much. And it does look like they are the team that was behind TSM as well. Oh, accidentally drops from plus. You're going to want to get back on that high ground before he gets shot too much from the teams to the east. And Bleed and TSM playing very tightly. It doesn't look like TSM knows Bleed is here. If he peeks, if Reps peeks or takes one step too far, Bleed could rinse him quite quickly. But TSM is now getting forced off the height and maybe forced into Bleed. They are hard fighting. Bleed might climb on the other side here. Kind of hard to track what's going on. TSM down in 18th, not having a good day, or a day that they'd be used to. These players are used to being at the top, and now it's not going very well for them. But Verhulst missed the one clip. Knocked does get knocked. But Shubi gets the hot swap. Dropped, does need to heal up. Fluff is controlling height over them and looking to drop, and they are 3 and healthy. Bleed in an awkward spot here. And now T-Law third-partying and getting shots from the distance to knock Bleed as well. And now going up on hot, it's going to be T-Law versus Fluff with Shubi ratting. Watch all this happen. See TSM go. And T-Law getting some much needed points. They are in second, but every point here is going to make a difference, especially coming into the last 2 games. Making the call to not dice roll their second last game in the series, so good decision from them. I really like that. Grab a little loot, grab some kills, and dip. No need to take risks for them. For the lower teams around like 10th, 12th, they need to be taking a lot of risks. They need to be looking to play more aggressive and fighting. But T-Law holding second, they have nothing to really gain. Obviously, they want as many playoff points as possible, but it's not risk dice rolling first place to drop to 5th. So really good discipline from them there. And Vanity not having the game they wanted, only on 2 points, but Stunny does get a knock, and there's a break there, but he does get traded, and that is not ideal. They're getting shot in the side. Complexity going to be coming in. Temper going back on the high ground though, so Temper losing the pressure, and Lou getting punished hard, and Vanity gonna wipe. Stunny will unfortunately die to zone, and it's going to be a really hard rotation in for Crook and Jayon here, but I think they'll be able to play that edge of that tunnel and not get pressured at the moment. Now Moist looking to work this inside building, but Temper getting pressured from LG from the high ground. And let's see if Sweet can make this Hemlock sing, and he can. Quick 100 damage before walking back from the bank ult, and he's going to go right back to that head glitch and keep pressuring this team, but they swing the right. He really needs Sykes and Funk to shoot for him, and they will. Good coordination there, not allowing Sweet to get pressured too much and go down. Now they don't want to take too many risks because they are in first place, and they don't want to throw too many points here. And now, if we look at zone, most teams existing out of zone right now, and they only have 35 seconds to come play it. LG is going to give up the one rock. They're going to give up the one rock so they can play the one that's farther back. Now it's a little bit safer because less teams will be looking at that side, and so I think the chance of them getting shot in the back is actually a lot less playing that other rock.
Very impressed with LG. I mean, similar to what we said at the top of the show,
and Moist looks like they're in a tough spot. They're getting shot from all directions. Really not much they can do here, but if they can heal, there might be a little bit of a chance they can get some kills in the chaos coming in here. One person close holding them, and now they're going to try and push through this and get these medkits off. Come on, Moist. Get a couple points here. Currently in 15th. Really want a top 10 for Moist on the end of the day. And they will need to pick up some KP. This zone is a really hard rotation for them. Maybe they can get kind of a fight onto Native or something here and get some points. They do want to gatekeep the teams that are farther back than them. Maybe they play this fence. Really nice shot from Timmy. His Sentinel is nasty today. And now we have Empire fighting Flat in a really awkward spot here. Flat kind of getting caught in zone, and Empire is going to turn around and look at the rest of Moist and Flat. Maybe resetting on this rock. This rock's actually not bad for them at all. Not many lines of sight on them. They could get naded out, but it's pretty safe from shots. Furia still planted in their building, and Nano kind of in the middle of nowhere, a little bit stuck. And LG is going to be knocking Fluff, and Flat goes down, so Nano not able to survive longer. Top 7 teams now. And Sweet taking space on Fly here. Doesn't want to accidentally fall. That would throw the whole game. But, oh my god, LG is like holding so much space. They're doing such a good job of controlling the entirety of this part of the zone. Really well done by LG. This split hold is crazy and genius, and Sweet's about the only one crazy enough to try it, but also the only one good enough to execute on it. Really well done by LG. Going to be sitting at 63 points with potential to get a little more. Kind of running low on ammo though. That might cause them some problems in a couple minutes. But for now, going to have a lot of control over this zone. Down to 5 teams. Fluffy is eliminated.
I'm not safe on I have a god spot on them, bro. Just show. I have a really good run. I'm coming to you, Play my left side.
Temper might look to cause LG some problems, but they might be low on heals as well because Cloaked is slow healing here. And Empire going to have a really tough rotation up the hill too. And this is where Funk sees them, and LG is going to shoot down on them, controlling this height so well. Funk might have a really nice nade here. Doesn't get anything from it, but still able to punish the teams on low ground. Down to 12 players, 4 squads, 11 players now. Sweet calling that they're all going to be in the open, and they are all dropping on each other. Lots of knocks on lots of teams here. Really a chance to capitalize, really frag out for second game in a row. Sweet and LG might get the back-to-back. Gonna wide swing this with the Havoc, but Funk gets knocked really quickly. And he's gonna turn Sykes with lots of damage. Sykes might allow him to reset. Funk gonna get Sykes trading 1-for-1. Now they just look for it, and LG should take the back-to-back here, and they do. LG absolutely dominating on World's Edge. Absolute domination by LG. Back-to-back. Have not seen a back-to-back for a while. Sweet has to be feeling on top of the world right now. I know I would. His calling is absolutely on point. His World Edge, he knows it. He studied the textbook, and I'm just waiting for the scoreboard to update here because I think we are going to have some really, really nice results in a second. I think even if LG has a really tough game 6 here, I think they have almost guaranteed themselves as number 1 on the day. They definitely have. I mean, getting 31 points. T-Law would have to drop a 19 kill first place game, and LG would have to get 0 points in order for them to reach them. So very, very, very likely that LG just secured themselves number 1 on the day with that beautiful back-to-back win. They are running World's Edge like they own it. Absolutely beautiful play from LG and Sweet. Looks like T-Law didn't end up picking up too many kills. They had that nice play on Bleed Esports, but only ended up getting 2 points after that. Temper and Oblivion still tied with Bleed Esports, just 1 point behind. So now everybody is playing for second and third place. It should be a really exciting last game, and I'll catch you guys